Good evening and welcome to the Village of Westmont official voting board meeting for November 15th, 2010. I'd like to begin by asking our clerk to please take the roll call.
Mayor Ron.
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Emery.
Here.
Trustee Fleming.
Here.
Trustee Forsley.
Here.
Trustee Klebanow.
Here.
Trustee Scott.
Here.
Trustee Seneca.
Here.
Manager Searle.
Here.
Attorney Zemanek.
Here.
Police Chief Mulhern.
Here.
Deputy Fire Chief Wise. Economic Development Director and Assistant Manager Kimball.
Here.
Public Works Director May.
Here.
Human Resource Administrator Casey. Budget Analyst Gunther. Spencer, I was going right on to Deputy
He
Chief.
said he was really busy. Now I know what's going on.
He is here, isn't he?
I heard him.
Oh, there he is.
Deputy Police Chief Gunther. Economic Development Director, Code Enforcement Sinisek. And we have a large cast from the police department and the alumni.
Everybody's here.
Everybody's here. So, welcome all.
Okay, thank you. Would you rise and please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on our agenda are the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting held October 28th and board meeting held November 1st, 2010.
Motion to approve Seneca?
Second, Emery.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Normally, we do not have any open forum requests on Monday evening, our voting meeting, but I have a special holiday request that we have kind of something we have to take care of in a timely manner. So at this time, I'd like to ask Denise Collerman to come up to the podium and explain her holiday present.
Thank you. My name's Denise Kellerman. I've been a resident since birth here in Westmont. And tonight I'm representing West Hills Community Church. We're located on 55th Street, just on the corner of 55th and Wilmette at 213 East 55th. Typically, every year, the church puts together Thanksgiving dinners for families in need. And this year, we decided to take on a little bit of a challenge and try to raise funding to increase the opportunity to give. And what we have been able to do as a committee of the Hands Project and church as a whole is to raise enough money for 200 Thanksgiving dinners to be given to residents and families in need. So I thank you for letting me come here today. I know it's short notice, but we do have these dinners available. The family will receive a turkey ready to cook and all of the fixings around it. Thursday, we're having some volunteers put things together, as well as Sunday. Families who are interested will come on Sunday, November 21st, to the West Hills Community Church to pick up their dinner. If they're interested, they can call 630-964-3599, or they can email me directly at hands@westhillscommunitychurch.org. Lastly, I just want to announce or state what we think is the definition of families with a need. And to me, it's a family who has to decide whether they have money for Thanksgiving dinner or they're needing that money for gas to get to work, or need that money to pay a bill versus Thanksgiving. And we really want to be there for them. So please, anyone can give us a call. If you know a family as well, let us know. Thank you for your time.
Could you give us a phone number one more time?
Yes, the number is 630-964-3599.
Okay.
Thank
very
you.
good.
Thank
you very much. And now moving right along to another very special part of our meeting this evening, and that is the swearing in of two new gentlemen in our police department, our our new deputy chief, and also a sergeant. And with that being said, I'd like to call our police chief, Tom Mulhern, up to the podium for an introduction. Tom.
Mayor, good evening. Thank you. And Village Board, thank you. Tonight, I had the distinct honor and pleasure to appoint a member of the department to the rank of Deputy Chief of Police. This was not an easy decision for me to make. 5 candidates had tested for the position. The testing process included a submission of a resume, a written exercise, 2 panel interviews. The first panel consisted of department heads from various departments of the village, and I'd like to personally thank each one of them for their participation in the panel. And they were Mike Ramsey of the Water Department, Deputy Fire Chief David Weiss, Economic Development Director Fred Kimball, Deputy Police Chief Jim Gunther, Human Resources Director Kathy Casey, Deputy Village Clerk Carrie Kamak, and Village Trustee Robert Scott. The second panel consisted of members from our community. I wanted a community input as well. And the panel members, again, I give them my thanks and appreciation, were Ron Gunther, Director of the Westmont Park District, Ron Fiala, Principal of the Westmont Junior High School, Larry Forsberg, Director of the Westmont Chamber of Commerce, and also a member of the Westmont Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association, Jeff Fiddle, who's the National Security Director for the Safeway Insurance and also a member of the Alumni Association, Mark Link, owner of Uncle Bub's, and I would be remiss to remind everyone that this is Mark's 13th anniversary. Uncle Bub's has been in our town for 13 years. He has his anniversary special going on, or else he'd be here tonight. We did partake for it this afternoon at lunch, and it was as excellent as always, but congratulations to Mark on 13 years of successful business in Westmont. And Trustee Ellen Emery. At the conclusion of the testing process, I chose Sergeant Ross Brunza to be appointed to the position of Deputy Chief of Police. And if I could take a little bit to tell you a little bit about Ross. Ross is married to his wife, Jenny, has a daughter, Sarah, and his son, Ross. With Ross and Jenny and his family tonight are some family members. Believe it or not, it's not the entire family. He says he left some people at home. I don't believe it, but he has his brother Ron and his wife Marcia, Ross's brother Roger and nephew Tyler, Ross's sister Robin with the nieces Rachel, Renee, and Riley, Ross's brother-in-law Jeff Olson, who's also our supervisor of support services, with his wife Carrie, and Ross's nephew JJ and Kaylee. Ross has been with the department for 23 years and has served as another police department before coming to Westmont for 2 years before that. As patrol officer, Ross served as a field training officer, truck enforcement officer, breath test operator. In 2000, he was promoted to the rank of sergeant. He's also the recipient of a life-saving award. And for 8 years, he served as a shift supervisor on the street. As he also oversaw the field training program, and in 2008 was appointed the department's operation officer, where he oversaw the red light enforcement program, our special events planning, the speed trailers, and other administrative duties. In 2002, Ross attended and completed the FBI National Academy session number 209. He also completed the FBI's basic SWAT courses with Northwestern Supervision of Police Personnel, and several other in-service training. So at this time, it's my honor to call Ross Brunza, for the last time as sergeant, and Deputy Chief to be sworn in by Mayor Ron.
I pledge to swear you in, sir. The oath of office. I state your name.
I, Ross Brunza,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
to support the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the laws of DuPage County and the Village of Westmont,
and the laws of DuPage County and the Village of Westmont,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Deputy Police Chief according to the best of my ability.
the office of Deputy Police Chief to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
This time I'd like to call Ross's wife Jenny and son and daughter up and pin the badge badge on them, and it's up to Jenny if she chooses to draw blood or not.
Don't feel bad, everyone has trouble putting that back.
With Ross's promotion, it creates a vacancy in the position of sergeant. And the village manager had asked the Westmont Village Board of Fire and Police Commissioners, Chairman Robert Cavanda, Commissioner Joe Hersenek, and Commissioner Vincent Musial to make a selection to the manager to fill that vacancy and make a promotion to the position of sergeant. The Westmont Board of Fire and Police Commissioners selected Patrol Officer Leonard Gabrielski to be promoted to the rank of sergeant to fill this vacancy. Let me tell you a little bit about Lenny. We all say Leonard, but Lenny is how he goes by. Lenny has served the village of Westmont as a patrol officer and detective for 20 years. Lenny is married to his wife Elsa, has 3 sons with him here this evening, Nick, Jacob, and Michael. Also here tonight are Lenny's mother and father, Leonard Sr. and Joanne. You should be proud for the way you raised your son, because he is a shining example of a police officer, and especially an officer for the village of Westmont, and we thank you for that. Lenny has held several positions with the department over the past 20 years, and they are a patrol officer, a Fiat SWAT officer, gang officer, defensive tactics instructor, firearms instructor, and most recently our problem-oriented policing detective, where he's been active for the economic development for our Safe and Secure Westmont program. I am proud to call Sergeant-to-be Lenny Gabrielski to be sworn in by Mayor Rod.
Here we go again.
Raise your right hand, please, sir. I state your name.
I, Leonard Gabrielski,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States of America,
to support the Constitution of the United States of
the
America,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the laws of the County of DuPage and the Village of Westmont,
and the laws of the County of DuPage and Village of Westmont,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Sergeant according to the best of my ability.
the duties of the office of Sergeant to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Also, Michael, come up and put the badge on. Sergeant Gabrielski. Congratulations, Lenny. At this time, following the board meeting, I'm sorry,
Could I just
Mayor.
make one comment?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes as we're growing up, sometimes as we're grown-ups, the size of individuals, particularly police officers, has a tendency to make people speechless at time when you appear in front of them. And that's exactly what just happened to me in front of Sergeant Gabrielski.
I can honestly say I've never had that problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Following the ceremony, there will be a cake and coffee reception back at the Police Fires Facility, 500 North Cass. Everyone's welcome. If you could park in the library and walk over. If you're handicapped and need to park in the station lot, feel free to do so. And help us, join us in congratulating these officers for this accomplishment in their careers. And with that, I have one last thing here. I'd like to call to the podium and introduce Special Agent Mike Crisaja of the United States Secret Service to Chicago office. For those who don't remember, Mike was a police officer here in Westmont, left us to go be a Secret Service agent, and he would like to make a special presentation to Deputy Chief Jim Gunther. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor and Board, for having me here on such a special night. I don't mean to steal their thunder because it seems like it was yesterday, but Ross was actually, or Deputy Chief Brenzano was actually my field training officer when I came out of the department in 1996. And Sergeant Gabrieleski and I worked 9 years together and are now lifelong friends. But, and I'm very proud of both of them that they've both been promoted. So having said that, why I'm here is on a totally different reason. And for those of you that don't know, I do work for the Secret Service now, and I have for the past 5 years, going on 6 years, and I work out of the Chicago field office. Being a Secret Service agent in Chicago, I do two things. The Secret Service is a dual mission agency, and a lot of people don't know that. We do a protective mission, and we have an investigative mission. Of course, our protective mission is to protect the President, Vice President, and any foreign head of state that comes into the country along with their families. And I am involved with that, half of my duties in Chicago. The other half is I have an investigative mission which I carry out. By law, the Secret Service investigates all the counterfeit laws. So if there was a counterfeit crime in Westmont here, a Secret Service agent would be called out to investigate that. We also investigate identity theft crimes and crimes relating to bank fraud, credit card fraud, and identity theft. And that's the main reason why I'm here. When I first came out of the Secret Service training, I was in the Financial Crime Squad, and at that time, it was actually Detective Gunther had a case which covered multiple jurisdictions. And I'll just give you a brief snapshot of the case. Was that due to his investigative work, it did have a nexus to Westmont, but then he unraveled it a little bit more, and it was learned that it went into 3 different jurisdictions in Illinois, being Cook County and LaSalle County, and he called the Secret Service up, and I got involved, and to be honest with you, he did about 95% of the work, and he uncovered 8 different mortgages that were obtained fraudulently that totaled over $1,500,000, and eventually we worked the case together, and I was able to present it to the United States Attorney in Chicago, and we got prosecution on the case. And the defendant is in the process at this time of taking a plea agreement for the crimes that were committed. So having said that, Deputy Chief Gunther, if you'd stand up here, please. This is honorable mention certificate, which is from, on behalf of the special agent in charge of the Chicago field office, Tom Kelly. I'll read this verbatim. This is an honorable mention awarded to Westmont Police Department, James Gunther, Deputy Chief, in recognition for your support and outstanding commitment to the United States Secret Service's investigative mission during the Markropolis et al. Mortgage fraud investigation. Congratulations on a job well done.
Nice seeing you again.
It's nice to see you. Good to see you. Nice to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Mike, I want to thank you for your time. I do have one question, though. Do you and Lenny also share the same barber, or is it?
Yes, historically, he's been his father.
Okay. That, Mayor, again, I'm very proud to be here this evening, and thank everyone for their time. And again, please join us at the police station at the conclusion of your meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. More examples of the fine police force that we have here in the village of Westmont and the excellent service they provide to all of us every day of the year. Thank you very much. Moving right along, that's all that I have at this time. Next, our village clerk.
I have a couple of announcements. First of all, on Sunday, November 21st, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Lions will be holding their pancake breakfast at the Westmont Senior Center. So everybody come. It's always good food. They offer a lot. And then secondly, I'm going to speak for all the board on this. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving from everybody up here. And not to forget the Frosty and Friends Parade on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and the tree lighting ceremony. So come out. It's a beautiful time of the year, and we all have a good time. So we'll see you at the parade and the tree lighting, and have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. That's it.
Thank you. Next, our village attorney.
I just wanted to note that I passed out some ordinances tonight for agenda items 10 and 11, which were added on Thursday night. You have those passed out, and I also passed out the site plan ordinance for Westmont Market, which includes the special conditions which were discussed on Thursday evening. I emailed that to you, but in case you didn't get the email in time, you've got the paper copy. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. Our village manager, Ron Searle.
I have nothing to report, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving right along. Development permit request, 15 South Cass. Board to consider a motion to postpone a development permit for request from Mr. Jerry Navarro for a family restaurant at 15 South Cass. We have a motion.
So moved. Horsley, second. And trustee Scott is first.
Discussion.
Who was first?
Did you want to?
You're first.
I made the motion then.
And I'll be second. Just wishing him well. I don't know how his health is, but I wish him well.
Well, we understood at first that he was going to be back here this evening to speak to us, and then we also heard that he was back in the hospital again. So it's certainly not a dead issue. So whenever he's available and desires to come back, we will put that back on our agenda again. All right. With that being said, any other questions? Roll call.
So the postponement.
The postponement.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Next item, development permit request 40 and 42 South Cass. Board to consider an ordinance approving a development permit request from Mrs. Janice Umont for a retail lighting and design center at 40 and 42 South Cass.
Motion to approve, Emery.
Second, Horsley.
Discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call, please.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Next item, final plat, 1 and 5 East Ogden, Walgreens. Board to consider ordinances approving following request. A, final plat of subdivision to consolidate 3 parcels into 1 buildable lot. And B, plat of vacation for utility easement. We have a motion on point A.
Motion to approve, Emery.
Second, Scott.
Discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call, please.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Point B.
Motion to approve, Emery. Second, Seneca.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Next item, development request, Westmont Market. Board to consider ordinances approving the following request. A, map amendment to rezone 4 parcels from R3 Single Family Detached Residence District to B2 General Business District. Point B, plat of subdivision to consolidate 7 parcels into 1 buildable lot. Item C, signage zoning code variance to A, allow more than 2 identification signs on a corner lot. B, allow electronic message board as principal sign. C, allow electronic message board to consist of 100% of sign surface area. And D, allow photographic images on the electronic message board. Item D, site and landscaping plan approval for a $33,000 square foot specialty food store. And E, masonry waiver request. Do we have a motion on point A?
Motion to approve, Scott.
Second, Fleming.
Discussion on point A.
Mayor, and I don't know when I bring this up, but one of the things that I don't recall being discussed is if it's passed, then construction vehicles and not going on Blackhawk, not going on Richmond, just coming off of Ogden and going on to Ogden. I know we've not discussed that. Is that something we can discuss through this A, or is it somewhere down the line?
We can raise it.
We do that?
Now, I think it would be appropriate. For item D, the site plan and landscaping plan,
Okay.
that's where we impose some of the special conditions that are uniquely attributable to this development, and regulating construction traffic would fall under that, but if you want to
No,
discuss
we
it now.
can go down and get to D. That's good.
Okay.
Any other comments on point A? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Point B.
Motion to approve, Scott.
Second, Seneca.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Item C.
Motion to approve, Emery.
Second, Fleming.
Discussion on point C. Hearing no discussion, roll call on item C.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Item D.
Motion to approve, Emery.
Second, Scott.
Discussion?
And then if we can talk about it this time, the construction. Go ahead.
I think that's a good idea. Trustee Forsley has to have the construction equipment stay off the side roads, because that's going to be heavy equipment coming in, so they can do Ogden. I don't think that's a problem.
Okay.
And they may need, when they're developing out towards Blackhawk, may need to exit and go north to Ogden, as long as they don't go south down Blackhawk.
Right.
So we'll put that as an additional special condition.
Thank you.
And then I don't know, again, with the construction process, if there's anything that needs to be done to notify the residents, if it's going to be close to Blackhawk, could they just let the residents know? Because obviously if they're coming out onto Blackhawk, they're going to have, they'll have the heavy machinery and stuff, but it might be difficult for the residents to get in and out of their driveways at that time. Those few that live across the street, is there a way just to notify them, hey, we're going to be doing construction close to Blackhawk? Is that just whatever we can do to help the residents, just to, not much, not going to change it, but just to notify them, this is what we're doing today. Just, is that a possibility, or is that not needed?
I think
Steve
it'll
May?
be visible.
I just wanted to add, with any construction of any type anywhere, if anybody is impacted on it, we always require them to notify the residences. When they're working out there, there's not going to be a time where somebody can't get out of their property. And then the other restriction, I don't want to say caution you, but remind you that they have a storm sewer to install the entire length of that whole block of Richmond Avenue. So there's going to be, and they have improvements to do on the frontage, so.
Right.
Obviously, there's
Just-
just construction equipment out there.
But they'll notify the residents, and this is the day we're going to
Right.
do it. That's
But
really.
I mean, even the construction limitation, they have physically improvements they have to do in both those right-of-ways, and they front on Richmond, so I'm not sure how you want to limit that.
I would just like to see the residents be notified. I mean, I don't know that you can limit it as much as, and you said that we already do that.
That's permit requirement.
Great.
Maybe we can put language that, except for work performed in the right-of-way, applicant shall use its best efforts to ensure that construction traffic enters and exits off Ogden Avenue and doesn't turn south onto Black Hawk or Richmond.
And all demolition debris to be exited out onto Ogden.
It's well stated.
Okay. Anything further on item D?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I got some emails from residents asking if I would at least explain the basis for my vote. So because the request was specifically made, I'll be brief, and I would like to state the basis for my vote so that they understand. And I was concerned that the reason I was asked is, quote, so that people like me will understand that residents were not sold out for a business. I put a lot of time into this, we all did, and as Trustee Seneca said last Thursday, the trustees are elected by the voters in Westmont to represent all of the residents in Westmont. That said, we never discount or ignore the voice of one. I did discount the voices that said, have them turn right on Black Hawk so that Black Hawk doesn't get the traffic, with no regard to their neighbor Richmond, because I thought, you know, you're willing to reroute everything onto your neighbor's property and at their expense, and so I pretty much discounted those. I spent a lot of time thinking about what could go on this plat of land and would it be a better fit for Westmont than the proposed Westmont market. And everything that I came up with, and I did not take into account the sales tax revenue. This is not an economical decision for me because of the residents involved. But I thought between York Road and Fairview, there's only one McDonald's. And if Westmont Market were turned down and McDonald's wanted to come in, open 24 hours and 2 drive-throughs and talk about traffic, and I proved that, people would say to me, and you turned down Westmont Market to put a McDonald's in? And I thought about another car dealer, and I don't really subscribe to the all your eggs in one basket, and we have a lot of eggs in car dealers. And most important for me was the fact that what Westmont Market represents, and I hope that it will go along the lines of what it's been represented to the village and to this board. What it represents, along with its neighbor, the new Walgreens that's going to be a test store for a new prototype, is it means that somebody is going to come into Westmont with a novel idea. And for as many times as this village board is criticized for the empty storefronts on Cass, I see no better way to attract new and bright and green and innovative businesses to this town other than to welcome the ones that want to come here. To turn this down would be to take a step backwards and to say that we don't want to see development in this town that's forward-thinking, and we want to keep our storefronts in the whole scheme of things back in the 50s and 60s. And I don't want that for this town. I want to move ahead. So I promise that we will keep the traffic issue first and foremost. We will continue, for those of you who are watching at home and didn't come tonight. Trustee Fleming, last Thursday, for those of you that made note to me in your emails, you misinterpreted what he said about letting residents speak. This last Thursday was a committee of the whole. Residents are allowed to speak without limit at a public hearing. The public hearing was held. Committee of the Whole in most other jurisdictions is the board hashes things out and the public is not allowed to speak at those. So those of you who took Trustee Fleming's comment about we let you get up and talk when most towns don't take it as we let you get up and talk and aren't we benevolent. We let you get up and talk again and again. Because sometimes you might have forgotten to say something or you've got another shot to try to make your case. And so we're going to pay attention to the traffic and what needs to be fixed. We will do our best to fix it. And those who still have concerns about the drainage, I am convinced that you're not paying attention when you hear about a sewer tie-in. It is not taking all of this water and dumping it. It is taking this water and detaining it in order to control the flow of it. It will be a better thing. So those are the reasons in which I am voting in favor of this project.
Any other comments?
Mayor,
Not at all.
in not wanting to discount any residents, like Trustee Emery has just said, I'm asking the applicants if there isn't some way that they can consider moving that fence a few feet next to the Konopka's house over a little bit more towards your side. Give it as a consideration. If you can't do it, you can't do it. But I'm asking, the family has asked me to ask again, and that's what I'm doing. So if you could at least take it into consideration, we would appreciate it.
And while we're on the subject then, again, we did get an email asking, and it was from a different neighbor who said, would you please consider the two neighbors, the people who are getting those headlights directly on them. In the winter, some of that stuff may be barren, so if you could think of something like evergreens or something in the winter that would definitely help block some of that, they would appreciate it. And I'm sure you could. And then also, again, look into the possibility of helping us with the sidewalks or those speed monitoring signs. We realize this is no condition on it. We're just asking you to remember, keep that in mind as you're doing it. And also, since we're on it, at the public information meeting with the West Hill Church, the community church, they happened to mention that they could use some potatoes, sweet potatoes, and carrots. And I just had a feeling that if there was some produce you could help a church out with, feel free to do it. 50-50 on that. So, but anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in. But we appreciate anything you can help, because I know you're going to do your best to try to be good neighbors to our residents here, and we really hope that it works out. Okay, thank you.
Anything further? Hearing no further comments, roll call. On item D, please.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Item E, masonry waiver request.
Motion approved, Scott.
Second, Klebanow.
Discussion? Hearing no discussion on point E, roll call, please.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, massage establishment fees. Board to consider an ordinance approving an amendment to Article 17, massage establishments, Section 22-1432 of the Westmont Code of Ordinances to reflect massage establishment license fees as non-refundable.
Motion to approve, Emery.
Second, Scott.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Emery.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Next item, proposed aggregate property tax levy. Board to consider motion determining the proposed aggregate tax levy.
Motion to approve, Seneca?
Second, Emery.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Emery?
Yes.
Next item, honorary designation policy. Board to consider resolution adopting a policy identifying procedures for approving honorary designation for village-owned streets. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve, Emery.
Second, Scott.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Emery?
Yes.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Next item, proclamation. Board to consider motion approving a proclamation recognizing November 2010 as American Indian Heritage Month. As I indicated on Thursday evening, I would like to read that proclamation at this time. Whereas the history and culture of our great nation have been significantly influenced by American Indians and indigenous peoples, and whereas the contributions of American Indians have enhanced the freedom, the prosperity, and the greatness of America today, and whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy throughout the United States, and whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976 and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George H.W. Bush in August 1990, and proclamations issued by President Barack Obama designating the month of November as National American Indian Heritage Month. And whereas, in honor of National American Indian Heritage Month, community celebrations have been planned, as well as numerous cultural, artistic, educational, and historical activities. Now, therefore, I, William Ron, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the Village of Westmont, Illinois, do hereby proclaim November as the Village of Westmont American Indian Heritage Month, and urge all our citizens to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Thank you.
Motion to approve, Seneca.
We need to vote. Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Emery?
Yes.
For the next item, there was one slight error, and that it should be section 90-32. To read as follows: non-licensed taxi cab fares. Board to consider an ordinance amending Chapter 90, Article 2, Section 90-32, to make an exception to allow non-licensed taxi cabs to pick up special needs students at Westmont Community Unit District Number 201.
Motion to approve, Forsley?
Second, Emery.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Emery?
Yes.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Award of contract proposal. Board to consider an ordinance awarding the bid proposal from J. Congdon Sewer Service Incorporated for the Hidden View Drive Water and Sewer Improvement Project.
Motion approved, Scott.
Second, Emery.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Trustee Emery?
Yes.
Finance ordinance number 14.
We have before us on this 15th day of November 2010, a finance ordinance in the amount of $1,183,930.57.
We have a motion.
So moved, Scott.
Second, Emery.
Discussion on finance ordinance number 14. Hearing no discussion, roll call.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Trustee Emery?
Yes.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Purchase orders.
Motion to approve as a block for $144,370.43.
Second, Seneca.
Discussion?
Question. The two for Western DuPage Landscaping and Space Co., is that paid out of the escrow that was forfeited by the builder? So anybody that got the agenda knows that this isn't a village's expense. It was taken out of the escrow.
Any other questions on the purchase orders? Roll call, please.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Emery?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Unless there's something else to come before the board at this time, I would like to call for an adjournment of this meeting.
So move, Scott.
Second. Thought we were going to
Roll
stay.
call.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Emery?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Thank you. This meeting stands adjourned.